that noise is, will it wrap up?
It's Christopher moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christopher was DJing.
Nice to see you, Christopher.
Like, what is that? Oh my god!
I was told by the soul guides I have to light sage for the podcast. There's a lot of stuff's been coming in through it, so we're gonna raise the vibe.
All right.
Well, what have you guys been doing?
We can start with like a minute of laughter.
Good morning.
That would be great. We could do that.
Laughter. Actually, not kidding. So just for your knowledge. Or we could do that at some point in the podcast. It really makes a difference. For a while, I just haven't been able to. Wanted to go live every day at 12. Just 5 minutes of laughter. Drop in.
It's very important.
I know.
It really does raise the vibration of the whole space. Just clap and laugh.
Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Come on in.
Hi, Chantal.
Jump on in. The water's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's salt water today.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning, honey.
Hi, Rhea.
How are you feeling today, Michelle? Any better? Michelle had some pains we tried to help with.
Hi, Jordan. Hey, Catherine.
Hope you're feeling better today, love. Good morning. Good morning. Smudging the space, raising the vibe.
Shake it off, clear it off, burn the sage.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Wonderful, Michelle.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Hi, Talita.
Knocking things over. Today is the chaos morning. I'm wearing orange today. Laura inspired me to change my wardrobe a little bit, so I bought a couple new shirts now. I'm more colorful today.
It's beautiful. I was noticing it. You always rock the patterns too.
I do. I like patterns.
Yeah, you love the patterns. Hey, Chantal has a question for you, so why don't we dive in? Because that's the hot topic.
Ooh, hello. Laura, did you say many of us had a reptilian attached after our chat with that? No, it has nothing to do with you guys. This is what I mean about you need to be careful about thinking things. No, it has nothing to do with you guys. That is all SRT. It's a long story, but it's mostly because Claire and I have been talking about doing a self-clearing class. We scheduled a self-clearing class, and now everything's gone to shit. Everybody, we keep getting attacked. just to be straight with you guys. There's nothing to do with you guys. So, no, that was just us talking about some of us SRT people. So,
and it is an amazing class you're leading. We didn't get to listen to the podcast yesterday, so I didn't get to see the medium. I have the replay to enjoy. However, I think you did share about Tuesday's workshop with you and Claire yesterday, right?
I did, yes. Claire and I are going to be teaching a self-clearing class next Tuesday. We've been getting a lot of shit from the entities about it. They're not happy. So, it's one of those things. It's been a little bit of a stress with doing this class because of that reason. But it is what it is. The show must go on. And so even if we're going to make some waves, that's why I'm burning sage right now. The soul guides recommended that I burn sage during the podcast today.
You could probably rig something up, Laura, like a hat or something where it's like a little thing so that it's just always burning.
In my dream, if I remember when I told you guys I wasn't going to do any work, and then the next day I had this crazy dream I was chasing entities to this big manor house. Well, apparently in this dream I had a wand. It was like an electric smudge stick. Like it was like a vape. You know how people do vapes?
Yeah.
But it was a smudge wand. So we need to invent one of those. That would be great. Just a wand that you run through the house and it's burning already. You just hit the button. It's like an electric smudger.
You could probably put like sage oil in a vape pen. Why not, right?
That might work. But then you'd have to inhale it. So want something that's like a fan in it, like a little mini. You know what I mean? You just hit the button and it's just sage everywhere.
It into the air.
Yes, I want an electric smudge wand.
Or, the simple version that, doTERRA rocks is the diffuser, right? Having a diffuser. I have a wood stove, so I always have a pot of hot water.
I have a diffuser, actually. Look at this cool thing.
So
I got it because it looks like a genie bottle.
oh my god. Oh, that's so cool.
The water goes in there. There's water and essential oil in there that I'm spilling all over my lap right now, of course.
And we got to rig it so you can wear it around your neck.
Like a neck version.
Well,
wait, now that I think about it, hang on a second. My doctor has a thing that she wears around her neck that's always sending out something. I kid you not. I'll find out what it is. She really does. It's like the neck basket, which is like a joke, but yet it actually does. She really does wear this.
Well, now we understand why indigenous tribes would have those necklaces with all the herbs and things. You know, it was all for protection.
Yes. So get those diffusers going. You know, if you have wood stoves, I have my hot water on my wood stove, and I just put a few drops of sage and Palo Santo. It just smells so, and lemon.
Yeah,
lemon makes me really happy.
Sage and Palo Santo, where it's at, definitely.
Hey, Steph. Good morning.
Oh, we just lost Laura.
Does not want to stay up. I know, saying the mic doesn't want to stay up today.
So trying to shut you up.
Well, you know, like I said, it's been a very strange couple days, and we've been basically, this is my sage spray that I've got some Palo Santo in there. Boop, boop. But like I said, ever since we started promoting this, we weren't even promoting it yet, actually, the self-clearing thing. And we've also learned some stuff, too. We've learned that you can't self-clear level 2s and 3s. They just, it doesn't work. This is one of the reasons why we need a team. We need a group of people that can support each other and check in on each other. And it's been quite a ride the last few weeks. So it is starting to be more apparent that we're basically fighting like a war here. You know, it's like a spiritual war that's going on between the light and the dark. And we happen to find ourselves stuck in the middle of it because of all the protection aspects. We're trying to teach people how to empower themselves, and that's something that they don't want. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you two here today, so we could teach people some self-care, some empowerment, some, just ways of boosting our ability to be strong, not just in a physical level, but on an energetic level.
So beautiful. So when I hear that, what I'm really present to is our standing in our power is a full-time job. It's a full-time job, and it requires, for anyone that is in the Divinate paid membership, I can't recommend enough. The Monday series where Laura Whitworth is teaching solo is amazing because it's very much about entities and energies. On the alternate Mondays, Laura and I co-teach, and we've moved into a series literally about how to raise your vibration and how to keep it there. And this is, please go watch it on replay. Like, we have a long list of practices, and we only got through number 3. Some of you have Laura's little mini book that you can buy on Amazon. I think it's called How to Raise Your Vibration. And we've both been studying this, using ourselves as obviously the first test subject for 30 years each. And so we're combining everything that we've learned, that we practice, and that has measurable results. I always care about measurable results. So please check it. We break down, we spent probably 30 minutes on diet, and I promise you there are things that you will learn about diet that are going to be new for you and life and game changing. So an aspect of standing in your power is connecting with what is your passion, your enthusiasm, and your inspiration in life. Those are among the most powerful energies to have circulating and cycling through you. We each came here for a very specific reason: to embody and to enjoy and to deliver and offer out into the world that which utilizes every single one of you is built perfectly for you to live your purpose, your constitution, your your shape, your height, your disposition, there is no mistake about you in any way. And we're here to recognize, I have a friend who he had a hostile relationship with his body image. And when he went to Hawaii, all of a sudden he found his people, right? Because he looked like them and he moved like them. And it was like all of a sudden the download of I am perfect. I was built perfect to live what I'm here to live, with joy, with power, with love, and with wisdom. There is no greater protection you can have than to live in that inner alignment. And it is a full-time job. Full-time job. So one of the things
You're not kidding.
Yeah. So one of the things Christopher and I wanted to do today with you was to share a little bit about, and to focus this conversation more on the helping you, each of you that's listening here, to step more fully into your purpose, your unique purpose, and your unique joy, which becomes an offering into the world in a perfect way. If you love collecting heart rocks, collect heart rocks. You don't have to know right now why, right? Life doesn't give you the full outcome. And all we're ever up against in our lives to connect with our power, which is in part living our purpose, is we're up against the mind and doubt. The mind that thinks and doubts, and then the doubt and the opinions of others, right? It took something for me to follow my path, especially during those squeezy chapters in my life. I'm 51, where my family didn't see or trust or celebrate my choices and my path. And that's okay. I also had to they have a right to have their views and opinions. It's not for me to say, well, you just don't understand, or you're muggly, or anything like that. My job is to stay intimately connected to my inner warmth, right? Sometimes staying connected to love almost feels too intangible. So I bring all these qualities into sensations in my being. How do I stay connected to my inner warmth no matter what's going on? And there was a good chapter where there was some space and distance in my family of origin. And I always like the phrase, there's distance, right now. This is what's right now. It always leaves open for the miraculous or a shift that is inspired by grace, which is exactly what happened when my father was on his deathbed. An actual miracle came in that allowed for him to see, oh, she's really on a path that is important for her. And it's really beautiful, right? Because my job was my steady self-effort, keeping love and that feeling of warmth for my family members. That creates the space for grace to enter and create the causes and conditions for a miracle. And so our full-time job, as one of my teachers says, is like, our spiritual path is two wings of the bird. One is our steady self-effort. Continuous state. We are a full-time job. The other wing of the bird is grace that enters where it already abides, and it creates the causes and conditions that match our authentic inner alignment, our authenticity, really. So when you recognize all we're up against in life is the mind that thinks and doubts and the opinions of others, right? When we haven't healed those inner wounds that are desperate for love, approval, and appreciation, that is the biggest weakness we have. That is what depletes us. Yeah. That is what has our vibration lower. It doesn't matter how many crystals we snuggle. It doesn't matter how much sage we burn, right?
It's always in the back of your mind, Yeah. Creating doubt and all kinds of.
It's in the depth that you're not even aware of. It's like the iceberg, the underneath, right? We can up on
Right.
top, like, I am prosperity, I am abundance, I am prosperity, I am healthy, I am worthy. But the underneath is all those childhood messages where we believe true, you don't matter, or you're stupid, or be quiet. That has to be healed. It has to be, because we can't. It's authenticity is the highest vibration, friends. That's even measurable. It isn't love, it's authenticity. And you can't fake it. You cannot fake that. So I could just go on and on and on. So I'll just I can go to Paris and Greenland and Australia and back. So I will just
Daniela, you're basically every conversation with you is a masterclass.
It is.
So we could
Somebody's
just
asking a question. Are Daniela and Christopher a couple? Yes, they are. This is
Yeah. He's my sweetie. He's
uh,
my sweetie. He
Yes.
I met him when I was unavailable to be having sensations in my body when I met him. So I was
off
very
the market.
I was poker face when I saw him. So like I locked in. I texted my friend, like when I met him, we met on a radio show that he was hosting. And at the time I had a business called Divine Gifts. Divine Gifts was where people hired me to make and send and deliver anonymous gifts for someone else after a really long intake. So people would receive an anonymous gift that was so beautiful and customized that told them, holy moly, somebody in your life really pays attention to what you love. And then it had the person that received it, they don't get to know who it's from. Now you start to treat everybody in your life like, you could have sent me this. You could have sent me this. So he interviewed me on his radio show, and I texted his co-host, like all caps, swoon. And evidently after the radio show, I said to my friend outside, which I have no memory of, so she was the space holder of this, I said, that's my husband. I have no memory of saying that, but she held that and remembered it. Like, how do you not remember that? And you know how I always say, Laura, relationships are karma. All our relations are karmic. And I didn't even want to be in a relationship, and it was like tractor beam. It was like, I can't say no. He's like, that's weird. I'm like, no, I can't say no. So, and then Lauren and Camille actually married us. They did our Lauren meditation. Lauren, they at a really fun surprise, kind of like a flash mob ceremony. Literally, all strangers were there, and we danced a Radiance Sutra with them, and that was our wedding ceremony. It was really, really fun and spontaneous.
That was we first met in 2013, and then it took a year for us both to be clear. And
I would ignore his texts, like months would go by, and he's like, "Well, I'm about to give up," and then well, that's all I'll say. But it's great. We're in, we're 10 years now in, and one of the most important questions you can ask in relationship is, for what purpose do I believe is the function of a relationship? And it is not to make you happy, and it is not to make you comfortable. It is for your continual growth and freedom. And it's hard. Like, we just went through a big squeeze chapter that was hard. It was hard work, and stayed kind and caring with each other. And relationships are about, you want to be conscious in a relationship that, like, hey, we're still doing our inner work together. And that's really the function of relationship. It is not to make you happy. It is so that you become free. I could not resist the Christopher, Steph. That's so right.
It is like my deepest, greatest honor to accompany Daniela and to go through these chapters, all the different expansions and contractions, and even to be here today. Thank you, Laura. Lynn mentioned that I haven't been on here before. I've been a little bit behind the scenes of the Divinate, and we're going to tell the story of Divinate in just a minute. But I first wanted to give another facet of what Daniela was saying from my own journey, from my own perspective, if you don't mind. When I hit around 17 or 18 years of age, I just fell into an anxious depression, like I think probably many teenagers do. and just what is life for? I remember asking the big questions from a place of despair. Is life just a dress rehearsal for a play that never happens? You know, like just all these big questions, just deep, deep depression. I remember I was at college once, and my mom calls me, and she's like, Christopher, like, I'm worried about your mind. And I said, I am too, Mom. I am too. I really thought I was an inch away from tipping over. One of my friends spent some time at an institution, at a psychiatric institution, and I thought I was right behind him. So I spent a few years drinking that into submission.
As you do, yeah.
Stopped working. And then when I hit 21, I had a beautiful friend. His name was Jim. I was living in New York City in Manhattan in East Village. And he introduced me to all the amazing things. He introduced me to music, to jamming, to carrot juice, and to yoga. So I did this deep dive. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I love the carrot juice.
Food. I had only dead food before that. Like, I had no idea that vegetables could taste phenomenal. Like, my body could just absorb these highly available nutrients from fresh juicing. So, and I learned fasting. So I learned how to cleanse. I learned how to eat well. And he introduced me to yoga. So I spent a summer at the Jivamukti Yoga Center in New York City doing a deep dive into Ashtanga, because what I came out of that depression with was a powerful compulsion to learn how to keep my energy high. And I'm going to explain, if you will give me just a few minutes, I'm going to explain 3 facets of the high vibration, of what that really means. And it's going to mirror what Daniela said. The two of us co-teach very well, because we have two sides of the coin of this. So I did a deep dive into yoga because I learned that I wanted to keep my energy high all the time, because no more of that for me. Thank you very much. Right? No more of that anxiety, no more of that depression. Now this almost overpowering desire to keep my energy high, to not feel sad or bad, turned me into a 15-year journey with addiction. Because I was so resistant to wanting to feel bad, sad, that I would do anything to change the way I was feeling. And as we all know, there are some handy-dandy substances that promise instant change. You want to get high? How long does it take, friends? 1 minute to get high, right? So I did a deep dive into yoga, which set a foundation. And then I was like, an hour and a half in yoga to feel good, or, you know. And so that led me down a journey of that path, which I then had to find my way back out of and integrate. And when I hit my 30s, 10 years later now, I started coming back to yoga, and then to meditation, and then to Qigong. I love Qigong because it's more flexible than yoga as it's taught in the West. Yoga as it's taught in the West it's dogmatic, it's strict, it's a little bit cultish in some places. It's not, yoga is no less broad than Qigong in its origination. It is a vast forest of study of the development of human potential, body, heart, mind, soul. And yet it's become what you all know yoga looks like. So I moved away from that after becoming a yoga teacher. I taught yoga for about 10 years. And then I continued to do a deep dive into Qigong. And I learned that one of my main yoga teachers really was teaching me Qigong. Like, the yoga that I was drawn to, they called it ancient yoga. And it was much more flowing and breath work and organic, and didn't have these really hard poses. I love hard poses. And yet the entry point isn't that for most people. So then when I did this deep dive into Qigong, which is the art of energy cultivation, I discovered that there are 3, they call them the 3 treasures, or the 3 centers of energy. And each of the energies that reside and are cultivated and abide and flow in these 3 different aspects of you have a very different impact on your life, very different ways of cultivating them, nourishing them, nurturing them, and very different ways that they go off the rail, right? So as we navigate our life, one of the 3 treasures is always going to be going out of tune, right? You play guitar, you've got 5 strings of your guitar and one in tune and one string is out of tune. How is the chord going to sound? Right? Sounds awful. You need all 6 of the guitar strings need to be in tune. If 2 of them are out, if 3 of them are out, if 1 of them are out, it doesn't matter. Doesn't sound good. The music is not beautiful. So the music
It's just a weird song.
discordant. It sounds discordant. So that the beautiful instrument that you has 3 strings. The body string is your physicality. It's your center of vitality. It's where health resides. It's where illness sets in. It's dense. It's the lowest frequency of these 3 vibrating strings. It's the densest. It's the last to know what's going on when the other ones go out. It's the hardest to change. It takes time, right? You can't train for a marathon in one day. It's impossible to train for a marathon in one day. It takes time to cultivate the center of the body, the essence, the vitality of the body. It takes time to train it, and it takes time for it to go out. It doesn't immediately. You may think, oh, yesterday I was good, today I was sick. That sickness has been out there at a different area before it got to your body. So this is the lowest.
I really like that analogy. Many of us are expecting instant gratification in many ways, sometimes, and it's frustrating that it takes months to build up to these things, sometimes even years. But that's just part of, how the energy flows.
But the higher vibration energy is instantaneous. That's the trick about this. So the upper center is the center of Shen. So if you think about this, they're not the same as they're not correlated to chakras, but you could think of it. Chakras are spinning wheels of energy distribution. They're vibrating energy that's being distributed. The 3 centers in the Taoist traditions are reservoirs of energy. They're storehouses. They're where the energy lives in you. It's not a spinning chakra wheel of distribution of colors and lights and emotions. So the upper center, you could think of it as the upper 3 chakras radiating upward to the cosmos, to spirit, to source, is the center of mind and of intuition. So your inner wisdom is instantaneous. You don't have to train that. When you hear, you hear. When you know, you know. Wake up in the morning and you think, time to go for a run, or I'm going to yoga, those thoughts hit instantaneously. You don't have to light sage and burn candles to hear and feel your connection to spirit, to God, to the universe. That's instant.
You are spirit.
You are part of the universe. This is your essential nature. So the upper center connects you fully to that which is, and it's always on. You can't diminish it. You can't lose it. It's always there, and yet it can become clouded, right? It can become obscured by clouds, for those of you who love Pink Floyd, right? And then the middle center, and then I'll stop with my lecture. The middle center is the center of emotions, of feelings, of chi, right? So this is not instantaneous, and this isn't slow moving. This is the in-between energy. This is the area of pranayama. This is the area of the breath. This is the area of speaking, of speaking clearly. So that the center is where the feelings reside. So if your life isn't if you're not feeling great in your life, one of those 3 centers is not in tune. Either the body center, you're not taking care of your body, you're not going for walks, you haven't learned your yoga, your qigong. Something, you're not eating well, something's off with the body, or something's off with the heart space, right? You've got a quote broken heart, right? So something's off with your emotional layer. The layer of the lungs, of your breath. You've lost your abdominal breathing, so you're literally starving your body of oxygen. That's very common. You could literally learn to breathe deep abdominal breaths, and your life will change. If that's the frequency that's discordant here, if you're not breathing properly, or you've shut off.
I constantly find myself not breathing. I find myself holding my breath without even realizing I'm doing it. You realize when you starve your body of oxygen, you starve it of all kinds of other things too, because that's an important part of the, normal functions.
Honey, can you dog tag right where you are? I just want to share with people a quick tip on how they can return breathing to the abdomen. Do you know where you are?
Well, I don't know what dog tag means, but
I think it means like in a book, you like put down the corner of a page.
Down the corner. Oh, dog ear.
Dog ear. Dog ear.
Yes, dog ear.
Dog ears. Dog tag. So friends, I didn't learn. I was taught this, and it was a game changer. Lay down and practice this every day, and put your hands on your belly, and you're just nice and comfy, and just practice with the intention of bringing your breath down into your belly where your hands are. Because when you inhale, proper breathing would actually have your hands extend outward. A lot of us do what's called reverse breathing. When we inhale, our hands would get sucked backwards towards our spine. Mm-hmm. So you want to practice. Laying down is actually easier because you've got gravity. You really can feel if you're breathing properly. When you inhale, your hands on your belly are going to rise either out or up. And when you exhale, they'll settle back. And I was a total reverse breather. I was a chest breather. Like my air didn't even move my hands. I'm like, I'm breathing and no hand movement. And then once my hands started moving, I was reverse breathing. So this is you just practice it every day a little bit, and it will shift. It will shift.
So bring that in right now, friends. Welcome in a breath through the nose if it's clear. Let your belly, you can bring your hands there. Give yourself a little love for your belly and bring the breath fully down in there. And then let the exhale keep going and keep going and keep going until there's nothing more. And let this conversation be like relax, slow down. Everything is going to be okay.
And I traced back for me what contributed to my reverse breathing, because I grew up in a household culture where my mom was always on a diet. Like it was either Dexatrim pills, Weight Watchers, Tab Cola. And so she always had a thing with her belly, and so I grew up, she would always say, pull your belly in. And so I spent my life with an engaged core, like all the time. So there was because it was engaged, it was like, you can't breathe into your belly with an engaged core. You have to really fully breathe, you have to relax your belly completely. So I spent decades with a tight abdominal area. So you can trace back. As I'm laying there, I'm like, tell me more. Where's the origin? And always be a very compassionate inquiry with yourself, because everything we're doing and being and saying or not doing is rooted from another place in our life journey. And you usually can find it in your childhood. So back to you, Christopher. Thank you.
So our life journey is about rediscovering the keys that unlock our power, our knowledge, our vitality, so that we can share with others. I don't wish that I hadn't gone through 15 years of addiction. That hellscape brought me to the gems that I now get to share in teaching, right? Diamonds are formed under tremendous pressure for a very long time. There's no other way that a diamond is formed. There's no other way that black sooty carbon becomes a diamond except under tremendous pressure for a very long time. You can't have pressure for a short time or not pressure for a long time and get a diamond. It has to be that way. So for each of you, the question the quest to know thyself, and I'm always in this every single day, and Daniela is always in this every single day, is which of these 3 strings, there aren't 6 strings like a guitar, there's only 3. Which of these 3 strings is out of tune? Because you imagine a chain, right? A steel chain. You strengthen a chain by strengthening the weakest link. If you strengthen the strongest link of a chain, the chain gets not even an inch, not even a teeny tiny bit stronger. Strengthening the strongest link makes no difference to the overall strength of the chain. You gotta find the weakest link. When I was teaching yoga more actively, I would have people come in that were marathon runners, and they would come to my most vigorous class, right? They'd come to the Ashtanga Primary Series, hour and a half, pour it out, sweat it out, and they've got all kinds of body projects happening. And I take one look at them, and I'm like, oh, sweetie, you're in the wrong yoga class. Like, we got to get you into restorative yoga. We got to get you melting a little bit. Like, we got to turn that fire down. They're so since their life is all about fire, about pitta, about the fire element of running or vigorous exercise or physical accomplishment, that they're neglecting these other two. So is your emotional body repressed and suppressed and shut down? Have you been declining the friendly voice of the friend that's whispering the next step for you, and you're like, oh, hell no. Like, which of those three are not being nourished in your life right now?
And you can break it down as a simple inquiry question, even more simple. If you place wisdom at the head center, love at your heart center, and power in your core and body center, you can always do a quick assessment when you feel just off or agitated, or withdrawn or too fiery. Those are all due to our nervous system being dysregulated and being in reactive, or not being conscious of which of the three is off balance. So you're either out of balance with wisdom, love, or power. And think of power as action, right? Your power center, your core center, your body center is designed for you to live when love and wisdom are congruent, aligned, and in communication with each other. So I can always find when I get too serious, you want to know your symptoms of when wisdom has exited stage left, when love has exited stage right, and when power is you just feel in inaction, like you're stagnant, you're frozen, or you don't do the thing. Another way to look at it is attention, intention, and will. This is your will center, your place of go, of do, of live it. And our will center in our culture is the weakest. It is the weakest, friends. You could probably scan your life and be like, I've got the ideas, I've got the education, I've got the knowledge, I've got the care. And then there's I'm frozen in action, or I'm overwhelmed. And oftentimes what knocks us out of our power center is where we are not in integrity with our soul in all areas of our life, because there's something else we're not dealing with that allows you to feel free in the receiving of inspiration, so you can go, so you can move. That is the single greatest tip I could give you, is check in. What's off right now? Is it wisdom? Is it love? Or is it power and action? And you'll know for each of you, one of them is your predominant, your dominant. One's checked out a lot. And one's kind of in the middle, right? So know that about yourself. Know which is your dominant, your blind spot, and which one's kind of in the middle, because the aim is to have all three congruent moment by moment by moment in our lives.
This is so fun.
Absolutely.
So if you're enjoying
Catherine, how do you check in? Sorry.
Well, okay. So here are my symptoms and signatures when I'm too heavy in wisdom and love has stepped out, or compassion, or that feeling of warmth. I will get really production focused. I get serious. I'm like, let's go, like chop, chop. I'm missing that sense of flow, and it's all okay. And let me be present with your eyes while we're doing these things, right? It's like boom, boom, boom. It's too much endurership. Busyness, overwhelm, and too much doing pulls me out of my heart center. So my signatures for when love has exited is when I have those symptoms. So you want to know your symptoms, right? So then when wisdom has checked out and I'm just all in the love, I'm saying yes to too many things and not saying no. I'm not saying I wish I could do that and no, or not right now, or I need to schedule this conversation for 3 weeks out and I know what you want to do is talk to me sooner, right? So I spread myself too thin because I want to accommodate and that heart of caring, but the wisdom center is checked out, saying that's not going to, you're not taking the oxygen first. It will throw me out of balance if I say too many yeses in too soon of a time. And power, when I know my power center is out to lunch, I have then I will feel a lower vibration. It's not depressed. It's like just a lower, I'll feel a dense and heavy. And that means I'm not doing something. There's something I'm not living, or there's something I'm out of alignment or integrity in my life, something I haven't attended to, so that it isn't in the space. Like, that feeling, friends, when you pay your bills and you get it all sent, you get your checks sent out, or go back to the day of sending checks out, and the white envelopes would be sitting there on the counter. They go out there. It's like, oh, I feel clear and clean. Everything just feels clear. I've done what I said I would do. I've honored my agreements. So there are lots of symptoms and signatures when we're out of wisdom, love, and power. So you want to study yourself to recognize that, because the symptoms, just like if you start sneezing, that's the symptoms of maybe I'm getting a cold. So know your symptoms. And I could talk about this till the cows literally come home. So I will.
It's very helpful. This is exactly what we need to be learning right now: is self-empowerment and self-care.
And these are the kinds of things in Divinate membership on Monday night, when I have what's called practical spirituality. These are the conversations that we have. So if you enjoy this, come to those, because I want to just give you everything. 30 years of study and practically applied spiritual practices. I love sharing. I love teaching. I teach in a lot of other settings and arenas. So I love the Monday night practical spirituality sessions. So come to those. And hi, Scott.
and we're on Saturday is our 4th. So in January, we did a free, we call it quantum qigong, to get the idea that it's also about the instantaneous everything as well as the body and the practice. So Saturday is our 4th free class. We did 4 free classes in January. We're on a little journey, and this one's it's either called Flight School or Learning to Fly. I love when the poetic names arise. So Saturday's the 4th. It doesn't matter if you haven't come to the other ones. We connected with the energy of the dragon for power. We did a class on emotional release. We did a class called the Golden Shield, which is about establishing a protective field. And Saturday is our 4th of 4, because the Saturday following, Daniela and I are starting a 12-week immersion in Qigong that you're all invited to join if you'd like. And Saturday classes are free. So come to Flight School.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for doing that.
We'll be back on Wednesday next week to really talk a little bit more about keeping your vibe high, to invite you into a way that you can really bring Qigong practice into your life, and to support you in accountability to establish a habit. It's very hard to do these things on your own without traveling with a group. And so we have, starting in early February, a 12-week journey that you guys have an opportunity. It's like a 50% off discount to join us. It's a game changer. And we both co-teach it. So Christopher gets to do the moves. I'm usually off doing not what he's doing, because I'm just in my happy la-la. I like intuitive movement, not so prescribed. And then I'll share with you for the last hour of class.
Daniela does the seaweed masterfully.
I just love I'm like, I just want to be in the ocean. I did my first quantum hypnosis session. It was so amazing. And I was just in the ocean. It was just the vast ocean, even in my hypnosis. It was so amazing.
Tyler, are you free to come on Saturday? I kind of want to share about some updates on the Divinate platform. And Saturday, we'll do a little overview of what Qigong is. And then, as Daniela mentioned, Laura said we could come back next week. Careful, we'll make a habit of this, Laura. And
I know, I love it. You guys are always welcome here. We love your vibe and how much knowledge. You guys are far more advanced than I am, even when it comes to understanding the body and I should say the etheric body. And that's something that I'm very excited to learn about. So I'm soaking up as much knowledge from you two as I possibly can.
Well, that's mutual, Laura. That's mutual. I came to you, how Divinate really originated I was just a secret, quiet student, really absorbing and loving. I too always loved the Einstein description of the best way to teach is teach in the most simple language possible, such that an 8-year-old could understand what you're saying. And I always aim to break down for my own mind, and then to share with others, the simplicity of something so you could really digest it and grok it. And so when you were over on Grandma Dee's page sharing and taking these huge concepts, right, that have been in my world, the quantum world, for decades, and distilling it down in such powerful, potent, bite-size bloops, I'm like, so I just took myself on as a student. I'll study, with anyone that is sharing correct information, has the energy of deep caring for who you're writing for. I always felt in your writing over there, you're really present to, we are receiving this. It always felt like what you were writing and describing was crafted with tremendous love and tremendous wisdom and tremendous power. I could feel all three. And for me, that's what I look for when I'm going to learn with someone. So for months, from about May until whenever, August or September, I was just learning. I was just in the learning or the relearning, remembering really. And I love interviewing people. I love doing, previously for some years, I had, done an interview series and podcast elsewhere. And I remember reaching out to you saying, can I interview you on your site? Right? Because there's just so much here. Let's just start chatting. And it was from there that you, Brandy, and I started chatting about, our shared vision. And that really was a global metaphysics school where both healers and students could come together and continue their own learning, continue their healing, continue their growing, and continue their evolution so that we can all thrive and flourish in the way we are perfectly designed to. And that's a, if you're a healer, you're still a student. If you're a student, you probably have some healer in you. We want to help you bring you out into the world. So this is really, we would have these sessions, you, me, and Brandy, we started a Google Doc, right? Metaphysics University or Metaphysics Academy.
Yes.
And we were just putting down what's the first year. It was a 4-year curriculum, like a college, and we're writing it out. And then I remember seeing a post of you saying, oh man, love to get a practitioner thing going and this and that and get this all going. And you had a dollar tag, which it was estimated what it would cost to start Divinate, which it hadn't been named at that point. It was the Metaphysics Academy. And it was when I saw it, I said, Christopher, A, this is a very high price. B, it doesn't need to be that high. And this is what we do. So how do you feel if I offer to Laura that we bring this to life, like a mandala, friends? If you see a mandala, the Tibetan mandalas, they're flat and colorful and symmetrical. But really what a mandala is a snapshot from above. It's a 2-dimensional representation of actually a 3-dimensional palace. So I just saw all the parts. I could see Divinate from here, and it's let's do it. Let's lift it up now. Let's you can go on YouTube, friends. Seriously, do check it out. Look at computer generated mandalas that go from 2D to 3D. It's so mind-blowingly beautiful. They're the palaces of deities. Each mandala is our homes to different deities. That's a whole other podcast.
So get pretty big. We got a lot of deities too, There's
So what we wanted to share with you, friends, because the last few months here in Divinate, we've been focused on getting the platform set up over in Mighty Network, getting the directory set up in its most simple form so that you could, start creating your profiles. And now that the workshop schedule, there's 10 workshops every month in paid membership, high quality. We now have the space to turn our attention back to the practitioner side. And so that's actually what we wanted to share with you more, because we want to help you bring you out. So probably over to you, Christopher.
Yeah, we've spent this whole conversation talking about half of Daniela and I, which is you were there. And the other half is that we are basically an agency that does business development, marketing, and technology implementation for emerging businesses, for light workers, for healers of all stripes. Back when I was first learning yoga, I was also learning technology. So dating myself a little bit, and I've been building engineering systems and websites and email funnels and marketing solutions for 30 years.
Ooh, talk dirty to me, baby.
Click funnel. Auto response. Calls to action.
Call to action.
So Daniela and I brought Divinate to life.
Simply irresistible.
Daniela and I brought Divinate to life in about a month. We built out the whole platform with Laura's help and some others. We built the platform out and figured it out, designed it, and integrated all the payment systems and all that. That's what we do. So with our practitioners on Divinate, we wanted to go to the next step there. So we have 2 new unveilings. Drum roll. On the this is for the gold side. We're going to keep working on all the different levels, but for those of you who are the gold practitioners, we have 2 amazing new things. One, I kind of just mentioned, we're offering a free consult to just hop on a call with us and tell us about what you got. Like, nobody can run a business by themselves. Those of you who have an entrepreneurship streak, who want to do a startup, who want to get something going, it is absolutely impossible. And I almost never use that word. It is impossible for you to design, develop, and implement and bring your own business to a level of efficiency and flourishing and sharing that both helps others in the way that you do and fills your bank account in the way that you need for your life and for your family. You cannot do it alone. Business is a team sport. You have to have a team, which is what
I'm one of those people that never asks for help, and I've been burning myself out because of that reason. Yeah, that's calling on your team, creating people trust between them. Yeah, it's essential.
And it's oftentimes inefficient when we try to do all the pieces and parts that we just aren't, like, it's not our disposition or natural. Some people have the personality where they're like, I want to learn how to do all the things. Cool, you run with that. I'm not. I take my car to a mechanic because you've learned all the mechanic-y things, right? I'm not going to learn that at all. So hire out to these other areas in your business, and we will help you to kind of distill that down to what the essential pieces are. That creating a team means, you're going to help me with this thing because you love doing that and you really understand it. And I've built a trust with you so that, and you're available and accessible when something's breaking down. So we really, part of our coming into power is learning how to ask for help. I mean, how many of you are so giving here? This is a very giving community. Healers and light workers are very, very generous with others. And we have the life lesson as helpers and givers and healers to actually be able to receive in the same direct proportion to that which we give. If you give a lot, then you also need to learn to receive a lot. It has to be in ratio. So we are, So we're available. So we sent out an email 2 nights ago to our gold practitioners because that's where we're starting. So you could think of the investment into the gold profile as having 2 new things. One of them is this consult and support from us where we can see the big view, where we can see the mandala of what you want to build, and then we can see what you have in place and what you don't have in place and make some very powerful suggestions for how to organize or prioritize. Because in the end, building a business is 1 step at a time. So we're wanting to guide you in that 1 step. So check your email if you're a gold practitioner. So that is, I think, $75 a month or a big percentage off if you pay for a year. And we're now actively we're wading in. We're helping our gold practitioners who are helping invest in the Divinate platform, because like any business, the Divinate platform also needs funds to sustain its services and its growth. So there's an exchange that's happening. So I just want to reiterate,
and also please, Okay, sorry. I just wanted to mention that we are seeking aftercare people for SRT too. So if you are somebody that is a healer, please do reach out to us if you're interested in this, because we are trying to design a platform for people that are able to help in every area. You know what I mean? People that are struggling, that need clearings, people who are students who are trying to learn more, people who are going through very difficult times in their life and need some guidance. We want to make sure it's very well rounded for everybody's needs.
Yeah, beautifully said. Beautifully said. So what that means is, I hope that it was clear. So if you are a gold practitioner, you get a full consult with Christopher and I, which is a pretty high value. Right? We're going to spend like at least an hour with you, just going over everything, looking at your site, helping you to make your gold site like really shine. And we're going to help you to undo what are oftentimes the three top pitfalls that light workers present on their websites that are very ineffective, and it's usually where we start. It's usually where like it'll be counterintuitive, right? Oftentimes light workers will describe their story and what their services are, and that is not why people connect with you or will hire you to be their guide. So we help you to undo. It's a natural starting point. It's logical to start there, and that's not what has somebody actually say yes to you, and to really get you and your offerings. So we see those again and again and again on people's sites and descriptions.
Michelle, you don't need to have a website, because there's 3 steps to what we work on. The first step is business development, which is, where are you? What's the plan? What's the vision? Probably there isn't much of a plan. Let's help form that. Technology implementation, which is a website, is last. People they often will say to me, do I need a website for this? I don't know nearly enough to help suggest what technology to use to implement your vision, until we start back with, what's the manzala here? Where is this going? So that's the first thing.
Wait, I need to ask Carrie a question. Carrie, let me ask you this next question, okay? With love, wisdom, and power, this is a question to ask inward. Do you feel an affinity with Violet Flame? Is that something that when you see Violet Flame or hear about it, or Saint Germain, because oftentimes people that feel a deep connection with love, wisdom, and power also, not always, feel a real connection with purple and Violet Flame, because the flames in the Violet Flame are the flame of love, wisdom, and power that blended together make purple. So I just share that with you. If love, wisdom, and power,
get the purple with those 3 colors. I'm just gonna have to go on faith.
No, it's the gold, it's the pinkish, the pinkishy reddish, and the bluish. Just do it with paints, friends. Practice.
That makes purple?
Yeah.
Like,
it just makes
not saying that?
It just makes purple. Let's move on. So anyway, Carrie, I heard to share that with you, or just to ask. So maybe
use us. Daniela and I have helped build dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses. So we can. So the next thing is, now so many of you are over in the Divinate Mighty Network platform. Over 1,200 of us are there, right? Now the Divinate Mighty Network platform, our community site, which is free. So it has the free side, which is where most everybody is. And then it has a paid side, which is where our workshops are, and replays, and a little bit of a deeper dive and connection, and Zoom conversations where we can actually ask questions and learn. There's a little more learning.
Like today at 1 o'clock, they're going to have a Laura's beginner class. It's like a beginner workshop type thing where you can ask questions if you have any things that you're curious about when it comes to spiritual topics. That's in the paid membership, yeah?
No, it's a freebie.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, see, there you go. Freebie for you guys today. 1 o'clock.
See Laura today. It's called. Tell us more, Laura. Give a little.
It's just I've been calling it beginner's introduction to spirituality. I wanted to make sure that people have access during, at least bi-weekly, to ask any kind of questions they want. So that's what this is. It's just for people who, if you don't understand a certain difficult topic, this is a perfect time for you to bring it up, is during that workshop. It's more of a live, was it a live chat? Is it a workshop? I can't remember. Is it over Zoom or?
The Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Zoom. So that way you guys can be face to face, and we can have a conversation too. So
So that's in 2 hours. So we got to get this wrapped up so you all can do the things and back.
Yes.
This is what we do all day. So thank you for giving us this gift of.
It's a pleasure. And I'm actually, thank you for also setting this up for Claire and I. I'm going to talk about our workshop really quick. Claire and I are doing a spiritual healing, protection, and energy clearing 101 class. I'm getting the link for it now. We're doing this next Tuesday. There's a lot. This is going to be a spirit-led class. As many of you know, Claire teaches directly from spirit, as they say. Her guides are the ones that are really leading the class. So it's going to be, it's on the divinate.com courses, workshops thing there. You'll see.
So that's next
There's
Tuesday.
Going to be a lot of different stuff. Yeah. It's next Tuesday. We're going to be teaching self-clearing of negative energy and attachments using muscle testing and pendulums. Just be aware that these are the lower level elemental type and earthbounds and things that we can clear for ourselves. We have discovered that clearing demons and ETs is a lot more difficult, especially when you have the attachment yourself. So this is also why we are expressing that this is mainly just for the lower level things. The big beasties, they're very complicated for removing, and they do require proper help from SRA. But at the same time, this will also be able to teach you how to empower yourself, how to know when something is wrong, so that way you can test and try and clear it yourself. And if you can't clear it, then you can come to us. And this is going to be a very helpful way of just picking up those strange energies that you may be noticing around. We're also going to be covering protection of the self and the home. We're going to be doing an angel crystal activation. So basically, everybody's going to get a crystal implanted in their etheric. I have an obsidian placed in my spine of my astral body. And all I have to basically do is say obsidian expand, and it encases me inside this giant protective crystal. And it does help a little bit, but not with reptilians, I'm finding out. But for the lower level stuff, it does definitely help to keep your vibe high and help keep out all that, negative stuff. So we're also going to be doing healing through music and tapping, and we'll be discussing color therapy and chakra balancing. And we'll also be doing ancestral and karmic healing exercises. So if you've got any karmic baggage, this is definitely going to be a big one for you guys. It's probably going to be about a 3-hour class. So if you can't attend live, I realize it is on a Tuesday, but that was the quietest day of the week for Claire. So it will still work. Everything will still, be just as efficient for you guys, even if you're watching the recording, because as you know, the soul guides will still do the work anyway. So even if you can't catch it live, that's definitely one that you're going to want to. And we're only going to be teaching this class once because we have so much going on. So this is going to be the one opportunity to catch it live.
And there is a replay, right, sent to you.
There is a replay, yes.
So if
you buy the class, you will get a download in your email from Zoom automatically.
Beautiful.
This is it's not going to be on Divinate. It's going to be on Zoom. It's a Zoom workshop with Claire and I. But the link to sign up is on Divinate. That's why I've got the link there. So
I just wanted to respond to, there's a cool conversation unfolding in the chat just about fear of rejection. Every single one of us here, you're the hero or the heroine of your journey in this incarnation, in all the incarnations. We got plenty of material to focus on in just this life, right? It's like full plate. And each one of us, by the age of 15, experiences all of the 5 core soul wounds. The soul wounds are rejection, abandonment, betrayal, humiliation, and injustice. One of those 5 popped for you because you're like, oh, that's my biggie. That's the lens through which I kind of perceive myself and others in the world. And when we receive and deliver those soul wounds, we create, this is how the ego forms. We create survival strategies to try to not have that happen, right? That's pretty logical. So our work and our journey are to take those, to recognize, to bring into awareness that we have these soul wounds, that our work is to reconcile them and to recognize when they are very likely the filter through which we are interpreting the living moment right now in our lives. More often than not, until our memories are reconciled and those, meaning there's just no charge anymore around something, it's then and only then can we perceive the facts or the truth of the living moment. Because when our past is not reconciled, it becomes a tint, a filter through which we interpret. There's life in truth, and there's our interpretation. These are two completely different realities. So it is a process. It is a process to reconcile these. And there are many ways to approach them, not just one. It's not just through talk therapy. It also means movement. It also means learning how to allow emotional release. It means learning how to regulate the nervous system. It's a whole host of things that aren't hard. They require your steady self-effort. This doesn't happen through the mental body or cool memes or anything else. It happens because you find quality guides to help you along. I've been on this journey consciously for 30 years. And at very crucial points in my own development, I made sure I had a solid, trustworthy guide to help me through the inner labyrinth of my world. So there are lots of practices that you can dive in to just start to explore and see, I really enjoy the embodied way of working through and reconciling my memories. Or I've gone to Sacred Sunday, holy moly, did a whole ton of emotion move through me. Or I really like, this process. Start anywhere and keep going. Because we can only live our life right now from one of two places: through the lens of our memories or through the freedom of inspiration. Inspiration means to be breathed into by the divine creative forces. The more you live in the current and currency of inspiration or inspired living, you will feel yourself completely connected to source energy. You feel that golden column of light moving through you and around you. That is how you protect yourself.
It's 11:11, by the way.
Bam.
Nailed it. Mic drop.
I don't even think we talked about Gold getting to go live in free membership.
One more. So we got one. But wait, there's more.
Wait, remember Crazy Eddie? Do you guys remember Crazy Eddie, that sales guy in Jersey? The prices are insane.
Prices are insane. So you all have been in Devon. You've seen the live streams. You've seen the shadow work live stream. You've seen Kaya live stream. You've seen Daniela leading Golden Spotlights live stream. Scott has been on live stream. So on the free side, we have the ability to host somebody to do a live stream. So for those of you that are Gold practitioners and would like to, you can now schedule once or up to once a month a live stream into Divinate Community for anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes to either give a demonstration of what you offer, to talk about your services, to do a healing or a sound bath, or to share anything that you've got, upcoming programs or the launch of your website or anything that you'd like. We can now, it would be either Daniela or I assisting you because we'd be hosting you.
Yeah, introduce you, and we'll help you to find what is the offering you want to bring out. You don't have to do it on your own, right? As part of your consult with your Gold membership, we'll help draw out what would you like to offer into the Divinate community on a live stream, right? You don't have to, and we'll help you every step of the way. All right. We really want to help you, the emergent healers, now to be able to stream into the free Divinate membership side and to step into your power and to step into your voice more, to step into your love. All right. Love, wisdom, power, all three. We're here to help you be you.
Beautifully said. You guys are the best. I couldn't have chosen better partners, you guys. I've been telling them that before. I couldn't have chosen anyone better to work with than these two. Really.
Didn't see it coming. Gotta admit, didn't see it coming. And that's the beauty of it. I just listened to the voice of the loving friend in the space between thoughts saying, go here, study this, ask this, see if she wants to blank. Like just one step. Friends, remember, we're not given the whole map of everything. Keep your attention right here and right now in the single next step in every area of your life. The distraction is trying to go more than one step ahead. That's a pitfall. We're in an imagined future that isn't, or oftentimes creating a timeline that is like, ugh, right? So just stay with the step that's right here and listen for the simple directions right here, right now, right here, right now. It's how you become so intimate with that loving wisdom that's guiding you for the next best step, next one. That's it. It is that simple. It's not easy. It is that simple. Yeah.
Beautifully said. Do you want to plug one more time, Saturday and Sunday? Tell everybody just one more time for those who might have came a little bit late about what's going to happen Saturday and Sunday.
So every Sunday, Daniela, you didn't even really get to speak about this. Every Sunday for over we've been leading Sacred Sunday. This is a free event. The link is in Divinate on the free.
7 years, friends. It started in a studio over a garage, 8 a.m. in the dead of winter, right? I'm like, oh, people totally want to drive out in the freezing upstate New York weather, and at 8 a.m. be huddled in a room over a garage.
Space heaters.
Exactly. And practice Ho'oponopono, because that's what people want to do on Sunday morning, right? And they did. And so the Sacred Sunday evolved and grew from there.
So every Sunday now at 10 a.m. we do Qigong in the way that we love to teach, quantum Qigong for the first hour. And then the second hour is...
Oh, I'm like, the chat is always like my sparkly squirrel. My sparkle gold silver squirrel.
I know exactly what you mean, Daniela.
So the question was, what happens at 11 a.m.? At 11 a.m.
Paint the whole picture of the journey of Sacred Sunday and why it's designed.
Yeah, Sacred Sunday is really beautiful. It's powerful. It's an arc. It's a very intentional arc of 4 meditations that you can't do wrong. You can do them laying down, like seated, standing, moving. You can make it embodied. And it's a journey. The first 7 minutes is a healing and cleansing and purifying karma through the 4 phrases of Ho'oponopono. Forgiveness is the root of all our healing. Forgiveness of others, and forgiveness of self without any force. So the practice, there's no like, oh, I should, there's no shoulding in this practice. I really help guide you through a journey of healing for 60 minutes through Ho'oponopono, through I am. Then once we clear, we refill with the golden light. Then we move into a meditation. And then after that, if you want to stay for another half hour, we do a sacred energy healing, which is distance healing for others. That's also guided and really powerful. So it's forgiveness, clearing out, and refilling with what we are 2 sides of the essential coin of our feeling free and sovereign. So it's on, the Qigong is at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's free. And then you can come to any segment. You don't have to come to all 3. We do it every Sunday, actually, for 2.5 hours. 10 to 11 is Qigong, always free. 11 to 12 are the healing meditations I described, and 12 to 12:30 is Sacred Energy Healing Power of 8 group. All on Zoom, cameras on or off. You're always welcome.
Thank you so much for everything you both are doing for the community. It really means so much to us. We're all growing so fast because of all these wonderful things that we're bringing together, and it's just so exciting.
Yeah, Eastern time.
Hey, can I share that? I don't know how to share a link here. Can we share this?
To Laura, send it to her.
On Divinate, friends. If you go to Divinate in the free side, you'll see the Sacred Sunday link right in our events. You'll see what else is there. There's some amazing free events there. Every single day of the week now, there's something that will uplift you. So we're really being very mindful. We know that there's a sensitivity around money and investment and finance. So with Divinate, we're being very, very being very intentional about bringing out as much on the free side as we do on the side for those of you that would like to become sustaining members of this. So we don't intend to ever stop that. We absolutely always want to have a really rich set of on the free side, not as like, a lead magnet, teaser, like really full on offerings that really can make a difference in your life. And you could just settle in there and join us and participate and share your experiences and get so much out of it. And then because we do have business realities of finance and costs and so on, we have the paid side, and then additional things like Laura mentioned, her workshop, that together are helping all of us support our households.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Erin, I saw your question. On Wednesday, we'll be back for part 2 of Chatsies with you, and we'll tell a little bit more about our personal spiritual journeys and who are how this path has helped to cultivate and to heal, evolve, stretch, and grow us over the last 30 years. So we'll share that on Wednesday.
And Divinate has an app. You can use it on your phone. I'm sure many of you are on the mobile app. So it's a take it with you.
And if there's
what have we got going on today? Is there anything else other than my thing today?
You're the highlight, Laura.
Yeah, Katie, I see your question. One day I will join. Friends, if anybody has a real severe barrier to anything here, just write us, okay? Please. We have an email address. It's like support at Go ahead, Christopher. I bet you know it.
Gmail.
Nerd it up. What's that email address?
DivinateCollective@gmail.
Ooh, say it again.
ClickFunnels. Autoresponders.
Okay, all right. Let's close with, can we do 60 seconds of laughter?
Yeah.
Because
I've been laughing my butt off this whole time. You guys are hilarious.
I know. Ready?
If
If this is profoundly irritating, friends, you just want to exit now. Okay, but we're gonna go for it.
Thank you. That's it.
You can stand up. Just shake it out. All right, like just little arms and ready. 60 seconds. Dive in and.
Daniela's got the best laugh. Daniela has one of those laughs that make you laugh. Love it. Anybody tunes in now, they're gonna be like, "What did Christopher do?"
Very good. Very good. Yay. Thank you, everyone.
I love you guys.
We'll see you.
I'll see you guys in about 90 minutes or so on Divinate free. So if you guys sign up right now on divinate.com, you'll be able to join. That's going to be a free chat on Zoom. You can have the camera on or off. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you comfortable. So much love, guys. See you later.
Bye, friends. Bye-bye.